I'm Bob Williams, president of the Atlanta Hawks and Phillips Arena. And my life-changing moment in my career was the second year that I was employed, right out of college. So my first job with the Hawks was to organize and execute preliminary high school basketball games played before the Atlanta Hawks games. And the premise was to sell group tickets. And at the start of the season of 1976, Marshall Mann, the PA announcer for the Hawks, had a heart attack and passed away. And people were in a panic and said, who are going to get to do the PA tonight? And they said, hey, that kid who does it for our preliminary games is pretty good. We'll put him out there. So they put me on the mic, and I became the PA announcer for the Hawks at 23 years old. Late in the fall, the Philadelphia 76ers were coming to town, and it was Julius Erving's first year in the NBA. So everywhere Julius and the Sixers went, they sold out the games on the road. So about halfway through the second quarter, I got a note slid in front of me that said, PA announcer, put more enthusiasm in your delivery. Bud. And I looked across at midcourt, and Bud Saratine, the then owner of the Hawks, looked like he's looking at me, and I started really hamming it up. So going John Drew for two, and Bill Willoughby, and Tree Rollins, just putting a lot of mustard on the hot dog. About 4 or 5 minutes later, the page walked back up, slid another note in front of me, and said, Bob, stop the cheerleading now. It was signed by Bob Kent, the president of the arena. So I didn't know which direction to take. So I calmed it back down, and then I looked over and it looked like Bud was looking at me. I'd pick it back up. And then at halftime, I was so nervous, I ran over to my boss at the time and I said, Reggie, look, I got this note from Bud Saratine. He said, put more enthusiasm in your delivery. And then I got this note from Bob Kent that said, stop the cheerleading. What'd I do? And Reggie looked at me and he just started laughing. He had sent both notes. To this day, I look back on it, and it was kind of a seminal moment in that I realized at that time things aren't always what they appear to be, and you always have to be prepared for turns in the road, and don't be surprised by them, just react to them.